Trailing Port Adelaide 5-5. The breeze early in the first quarter appeared to be favouring the left-hand side of your screen by the margin of 2 goals, but it appears to have subsided and there is nothing in the breeze at this stage.
Nat dropped into the pocket. Sorrell found him. Nat towards the centre of the ground, looking for Mark Williams. Took a spectacular mark earlier in the game. Clifford is tackled, loses possession, but fighting tenaciously, goes after it. The umpire, Foster it is, that whistles up play and a bounce almost on centre wing. Umpires today are Des Foster and Rick Kinnear. Davies to Craig. Craig slips it to Fry. Over the top went the handball from Eddie Fry, looking for Hunt. Ball doesn't bounce well for him, nor for Williams, but he taps it clear. Davies fumbling at the moment, tackles strongly on Kinnear. The umpire again disagrees with the supporters here at Football Park who are calling for holding the ball, and he will bounce.
Well done, Rick Davies, accepting the umpire's decisions today without the questioning that he put on last week.
Phillips gets the palm forward. Nat flicks it out. This allows Ebert to get in there. Ebert kicks over to Clifford, who's yet unattended, and away goes Clifford. A short kick over the top is clever play onto Kinnear. Kinnear having a look at the goals. The kick is going to be up there, but it's not straight enough again. One behind, 5-6, 36 to 5-4, 34.
Promising attack, disappointing result set up by Russell Ebert's intelligent kick across to Clifford. Clifford unselfishly gave it to Kinnear, but the accuracy off the boot of Kinnear was poor.
Nat is off the ground, Dolan back to replace him. Hill goes short to the leading Leonard. Leonard in turn has Casey loose at half-back. Casey over the top in good play to Heinrich. Mark Heinrich that was, that kicked towards centre-half forward from behind. It's Eckerman who thumps the ball clear. That's great defensive play by Ivan Eckerman. The ball lands with Ebert. Ebert pops one up towards centre-half forward. Leonard from the front couldn't hold it. Went back again strongly for possession. Hardman with rare abandon throws his body into the fray. In goes Aegis. Knocked on cleverly by Leonard towards Wiseman. He loses the run of the ball. Players having trouble at the moment, but finally it's Cunningham to Dolan. 3 against 1 over there. Kinnear from behind pulls in a great mark. He goes short. Terrell Cale loose and takes it. Great play again by Port Adelaide to set up the loose man. Darryl Cale ran to the spot.
Showed a lot of courage. He knew that he had Hardman coming at him front on. Never shirked the issue for one moment. Kept his eyes on the ball, controlled it to ground, and now has the opportunity.
7th kick to Darryl Cale. Is it straight? It is. Great goal. His second. Port Adelaide 6. 6-6 the Magpies. Lead Sturt 5-4.
Combination of the 2 rovers from Port Adelaide has been superior to that of Sturt's. Cunningham is clearly the best player on the ground at this stage. Cale has been amongst Port's better players. Let's have a look at him. Knew that Hardman was going to meet him as he did. Never shirked the issue and brought that ball to ground sufficiently so that he either received a free kick or a mark. 6-6 Port Adelaide, 5-4 Sturt. 14 minutes into the second quarter.
8 points the difference now as the ball is taken out of the centre again by Port Adelaide. But now it's Eddie Fry back there. He's tackled by Darryl Cale. Across it goes to Hunt. Hunt's kicked down towards centre wing. Phillips is over there. And here is Kinnear. Kinnear supported by Bradmore's clever football. Bradmore's kicked down to Clifford. Clifford's having a field day this afternoon. As he so often does, he looks for Fletic. But Casey, well done Colin Casey. Away goes a hand pass from that player. On it goes to Hardman. Hardman, who was a runner-up in the Brownlow medal in 72 and came 4th in 74. His kick has been taken here by Williams. Williams has kicked back towards the half-forward. Casey's over there. Aegis reads it cleverly. Out the front for Evans. Hard luck. It's off hands. Here's the chance, and the free kick is going to be paid to Tim Evans. I don't know whether you'd agree with it or not, Bob, but what's your feelings?
It appeared to me that Hill did use the shoulders or place a hand upon the shoulders of Evans to elevate himself above him. Foster was within 20 metres of the situation, and obviously he had judged it that way. And Evans, who has kicked 2 goals in this quarter, 1 in the first quarter, 3 is tallied, now has an opportunity from just 25 metres out, dead in front. Champion full forward, already has 137 goals for the year.
A record was created earlier in the week by Russell Ebert. We may well see another one right now. The kick from Tim Evans has gone straight through, and he now holds the most goals kicked. A superb performance, and the crowd of some 40,000 in my estimation rises one to applaud a magnificent performance by Tim Evans. An unlike when he kicked 100 goals against West Torrens to become the first Port Adelaide player to do so. There is no running all over the field by Port players this afternoon, Bob.
He's a great player. Let's have a look. Let's see if it was a free kick as Foster adjudged it. I believe that Hill placed a hand upon his shoulder to elevate himself. There he is, all over the back of Tim Evans, and the champion kicks his 137th goal from that free kick.
We're back live in the centre after seeing history made here at Football Park. Umpire Foster again whistles up play and another bounce. 7-6 Port Adelaide, 48. Lead Sturt 5-4-34. We've had 17 minutes of the second quarter. Dolan went up high. Davies pinged for the using of the elbow. I don't know whether you agree with that, Bob Hammond.
Didn't appear to be on.
Dolan has the free. Kicks towards half forward, looking for Fletic. Hardman from behind taps it clear, gets tackled too high around the neck, and Gary Hardman, who's played a dashing game today, gets the free kick.
Doing it well at centre-half back, Gary Hardman. Only played in one final, and that was last week. This is his second, and is doing very, very well in defence for Sturt.
Kick number 6 from centre-half back, wobbles towards the centre of the ground. Mark Williams punched it clear, taken by Klomp. The tackle was strong from behind. Brian Cunningham was the tackler, but nobody can gain advantage. Centre of the ground, bounce again. Davies, clever tap to Zilm. Zilm towards the pocket, looking for Darrington. Eckerman, who's played brilliantly so far, dives on the ball. Now gives it over to Sorrell. Sorrell to Greg Phillips. Phillips the long handball towards Tony Hannon. Hannon has support from Cunningham. Almost run down by Michael Graham. In fact, was it a penalty free kick has been paid down ground to be taken by Russ Aegis.
Just a long way from home. He's got Fletic dropping into an opening space, and I'd have to query the success of Hardman this afternoon, because Fletic had 6 kicks in the first quarter and booted 1 goal, and he really has been all over the place.
Getting his kicks by eluding Hardman, but Hardman in the tough stuff is more than holding his own for Sturt.
This is the 9th kick coming up for Milan Fletic, so it certainly is an interesting duel. Fletic now. Beautiful shot over his shoulder. The breeze doesn't quite get the ball. It goes forward. Evans is marked, but it's through. A behind off the boot to Milan Fletic. 7 goals 7 to 5 goals 4.
Tim Evans certainly enjoying his football here this afternoon. 4 goals he's kicked in 19 minutes into the second quarter. But the kick out was from Hill towards the outer side. Klomp missed it. Mark Williams burrowing in as usual. Head down, tail up. In he goes strongly. Can't gain an advantage on this occasion.
Whilst all that was happening, we saw the reappearance of Peter Hargraves, who appeared to be concussed in the first quarter, just coming back onto the ground.
Casey got the tap, but has been sharked by Aegis. He gave it over to Mark Williams. A high kick into the pocket. Off hands, Fletic leads in the race to the ball. Hardman's with him, but Fletic gets the handball to Cale. Cale wants support. Brian Cunningham, his captain, is there. Kicks over his shoulder into what's Evans! And he's done it again. How do you beat this man?
He's a great player. Had to take the second position. That was the one behind Hill. Judged it for perfection. Jumped just at the psychological moment, and now has the opportunity.
Bangs it on its way. That's his 5th. Great game so far by Tim Evans. 5 goals, and we've only had 20 minutes into the second quarter. Porter 8-7.
4 goals in this quarter has really been the difference in the two sides. Port have kicked 5 in this quarter, and 4 of them have come from Tim Evans. Let's have a look at Darryl Cale. Give it to Brian Cunningham. He screws it back over his shoulder. Evans from the position behind Richard Hill with superior judgment gets both hands to the ball, and he grasps it to his chest. 8-7 Port Adelaide, 5-4 Sturt, and of those 8 goals for Port, Timmy Evans has kicked 5.
Dolan versus Sims. Sims had got the palm, and Craig read that beautifully. Kicks it out towards the half-forward flank, and the man in front will be awarded the mark, and it's been taken by Andrew Zilm. Strongly built footballer is Andrew Zilm, 5'11" and 13 stone 7. 41 league games to his credit, and this is his 5th kick for this game. In towards the forward pocket it goes. Fisted away. Clifford's there. Clifford's kick out towards Kinnear. 2 real speedsters there in Kinnear and Wilson, but the ball was the winner on that occasion, and it's out of play. 8 goals 7.
Honours even across the centre. Kinnear and Wilson have broken even. Craig has probably had a margin upon Williams, but that's not very great. And on the other wing, probably Abernethy would be slightly ahead of Fry. Honours even right across the centre.
Dolan went high. Mark Williams appeared to get a push in the back, but the ball was taken by Phillips, slipped it over to Clifford. Clifford looking for Kinnear. That's clever play as it finally lands in the arms of Kinnear. Into the pocket. Keep your eye on Evans. Appeared to get in the back of Hill, but no free kick. Hardman doing a lot of work back there. That's a bad handball, however. Shark by Kale, and he's popped it through. Bad mistake by Gary Hardman, but a brilliant goal from Darryl Kale. His third, and the Port Machine certainly in top gear, Bob Hammond.
Fists it forward. Here's the chance now for Boyd. Boyd around the corner towards the half-forward flank. Clifford's away. Clifford gets the ball going past him, but he's clever enough to get back to it onto the left foot, screws it round the corner for Evans again. Hill was there. Here's Darryl Kale. Look at him control that ball. He's a freak, this bloke. Tried to kick it back over his shoulder, but it went out of play.
Never seen anything like that, Bob.
A master magician with that ball, Darryl Kale. That's superb ball control. It was behind his back. He continued to play the ball as though he had it in his on his chest, and then attempted to kick it over his shoulder, but unfortunately it was out of bounds on the full.
The short kick from Richard Hill has been marked by Mark Heinrich at half-back. Heinrich keeps the ball close to the line. Fry's in there. Derrington for the double blues. Gets away. Now boots towards half-forward. Davies has the judgment. Has support from Zulm. Slips it to him. Zulm centres the ball, and that's great football. Heinrich juggles, not paid. Eckerman. Flash Graham comes into it. Appeared to be held. And umpire Kinnear paid the free kick to Graham. He plays on immediately. Has a look at the goals. Bangs it in. Up high was Badmore. Appeared perhaps could have been paid. A push in the back, but the umpire doesn't see it that way. 1 point to the
Two or three bad umpiring decisions on that occasion. I felt that Heinrich first of all controlled the ball long enough, then he gave a charity free to Michael Graham, and then Bradmore appeared to jump into the back of the Sturt player, but that was allowed to go on.
Sorrell straight down towards the centre position. Up goes Phillips, couldn't take the mark. Boyd is over there. Heinrich is there, number 18. Mark Heinrich, beautiful interception by Boyd. Boyd forward. Fletic's got away from Hardman again. He has a look at the goals. This could be second. It's a bullet-like kick for goals, but it's not through. It's one behind and an opportunity missed. 9-8 to 5-5, Port on top.
Tremendous pressure applied by Port Adelaide in the centre of the ground. Dispossessed Heinrich in the centre, and then the setup was there for Fletic to run wide, receive the ball and have a pot shot for goal, but a point the result. A disappointing end to great pressure football applied by Port Adelaide in the centre of the ground.
Port Adelaide have kicked 6 goals for in 24 minutes of play in this second quarter as Hill goes to the outer side. Up high was Aegis from behind, but Darryl Kale in the middle of the pack took the mark. His 10th kick, looking for Evans. Hill's behind. At the back is Boyd. 3 Port Adelaide players there. Fletic goes after it. Can't handle this one as Hardman comes in. Now he does. Gives it to Cunningham. Over the top goes Cunningham. It hasn't travelled much distance. Wiseman is there for the double blues. Finally the ball's threaded out to Hardman, who kicks the double blues clear. Ebert versus Craig, knocked forward. Wilson throws it out in front. Comp gives it back to Wilson. Wilson now steady. Zulm's on a leg, and a beautiful pass from the speedy wingman from the double blues.
Tremendous passage of play. Sturt players running support to each other. Wilson and Zulm combined terrifically well then, and now we see Zulm push the ball across to Craig at centre half forward.
The ball Sitching is in business. The tackle comes from Eckerman. He throws the ball out. Great defence again from Ivan Eckerman.
Have a look at your picture. 3 Port Adelaide players tackling 1 Sturt, and that's the name of the game. Players to the fall of the ball, and Port are doing it extremely well.
Dolan versus Davies. Davies got the left-hand palm. Ivan Eckerman's up there. A beautiful tackle, and the umpire calls play on. It goes in the hands of Cunningham. Cunningham down towards centre wing. Look at Williams. He went over the top, couldn't take it. Clifford coming through, booms a kick forward to Fletic again, and it's taken beautifully by Hardman. Well done, Hardman. But Clifford coming through the middle, draws a player, over it goes to Fletic. Fletic's in the fumbles. He's got Evans down ground, and that was a bad mistake. A very bad mistake, Milan Fletic.
Tremendous interception by Bomber Clifford. Set the play up for a Port Adelaide goal. Fletic fumbled, lost concentration and dribbled one off his foot for a point only. 9-9 Port, 5-5 Sturt, and we've had 26 minutes of the second quarter.
The run of Port Adelaide starting to take its toll on the double blues at the moment. The kick out from Hill has been thumped forward. Here's Boyd, pushes over Fletic. Can he do better on this occasion? Centres the ball. Hill desperately lunges at it. Aegis is in there for the Magpies. In comes Leonard for the Double Blues. Sits on top of the ball. Casey picks it up now. Over the top it goes to Heinrich, and the Double Blues are out of trouble. Away they go towards centre wing. Craig. From behind it's Fry. Abernethy in pursuit. Fry gathers, breaks the tackle. Now gives it back to Craig. Craig goes short towards half forward. Eckerman again in the way. But good play by Heinrich. Gives Michael Graham the opportunity. Runs into trouble. Gets flattened. Lies prostrate on the ground and gets a free kick. Graham's getting himself slowly to his feet as Michael Graham, a heavy knock.
Tried to go between the two Port Adelaide players. They were having none of it. Both spread their arms. He appeared to run into the shoulder of big Chris Nutt, and he's indicating he doesn't want the free kick. He's allowing his teammate Hollis to take it.
Paul Hollis, who kicked a goal in the first quarter, won't quite make the distance. Ball punched clear by Sorrell, taken by Darryl Cale. Wide they go. Port Adelaide the opportunity now through Bradmore. Clear. Outer side. Pops it over the top. That's good play to Kinnear. Dummies around. Beautiful blind turn by Kinnear. Now thumps one in towards half forward. Got flattened in doing so, and a penalty free kick has been paid. Fletic, the recipient, is he? I think he is. Action behind the play, and I think there's a double blue player down.
Yes, a double blue player went down behind play, and we see a scuffle developing. That player, who we can't exactly pick up at this stage, appears to be in a lot of trouble, and that happened after Kinnear was flattened. It was a retaliation to that flattening of Kinnear.
Kim Pomp, I believe it is, Bob. The action's at centre half forward with Fletic. He's only 35 metres from goal. He's directly in front. Has he made it? Lives with previous mistakes he has. Goal to Fletic, his second. Port Adelaide 10-9 now at the 28-minute mark. Lead Sturt 5-5.
It's the running players of Port Adelaide that are setting up the Port machine. 15 kicks to Cunningham in this first half, 11 to Cale. Is just an indication of what an influence they've had upon the game. It appears as that Sturt player on the outer wing is in a lot of trouble. In fact, it could easily be Heinrich.
Centre bounce and again, Nat and Sims. It comes clear for Ebert, but it's taken there by Klomp. Back it goes to Fry. Eddie Fry in trouble. Got the hand pass across to Heinrich. Derrington it is. A long hand pass over to Craig. Craig having a settling kick forward. Sorrell's up there. Behind the packet goes. Bradmore's the player. Kicks towards the line. There'll be a free kick Sturt's way, and Bradmore doesn't agree, but by golly, it was there all right. No doubt about that. Umpire Kinnear.
There's little point in arguing, lad. He's made the decision, whether it be right or wrong. Sturt are going to have a shot for goal through the agency of Andrew Zilm.
And look at the way Andrew Zilm is getting plenty of benefit.
I think he's paid the free kick from where the ball was actually kicked from, not from out of bounds here.
Well, it should be off the boundary line. Zilm comes in. His kick is applauded by the crowd, so that's his second. And a handy one for Sturt. 6 goals 5 to 10 goals 9.
Excellent kick from Andrew Zilm on that occasion. Didn't have a lot of angle to which to kick to, and he speared the goals. Let's have a look as Craig pushes the ball forward. Let's you be the judge as to whether Bradmore in fact kicked it out of bounds. Here it is. Bradmore gets onto the ball now and kicks it without a shadow of a doubt out of bounds on the full. Why, in fact, the umpire pulled it back to where he kicked it out of bounds, he'll only know himself.
Back live. Port Adelaide into attack again. Ebert, the long handball to Kinnear. Kinnear's high kick to the pocket, looking for Evans. Oh, and he's done it again. What a magnificent game he's played, Bob.
Well, he's having an absolute field day. That was a superb mark. Came from behind Hill, jumped that shade early, and with better judgment, brought the ball to ground.
He has 5. He's only 25 metres out. I don't think he's made any mistake. He hasn't. He has 6 now, and Port Adelaide march to 11-9, leading Sturt 6-5.
Well, Port are some 5 goals 4 in front, and it's indicative that Tim Evans, I should say, has kicked 6 goals. Let's have a look at the great leap. Behind Richard Hill, jumped that shade early, met the ball with both hands, palmed it into his hands beautifully, and with superb judgment brought it to ground and made no mistake. 11-9 Port Adelaide, 6-5 Sturt, and 6 of the 11 goals off Tim Evans' boot.
Sims it was that got the palm, but it's taken by Abernethy, who runs straight into Graham. Beautiful tackle, taken by Cunningham onto Phillips. Here's the chance now for Eckerman, who's playing a crackerjack game in that back pocket. Down towards centre-half forward. Behind it goes Casey. Aegis trying to get past Casey. Does it very well. Taps it forward across there for Kinnear. Onto Clifford. Clifford goes back there and uses a beautiful block by Wiseman, but Clifford still battling for possession of the ball, and he'll be pretty content to hold it at centre-half forward. 8 goals, 5 Port Adelaide have kicked in this quarter. 3 goals, 2 to Sturt.
Good performance by Stephen Clifford. He's had 15 kicks to this stage of the game, along with Cale and Cunningham. They've been the best 3 for Port.
Lovely tap again by Sims, taken by Wiseman onto Craig. Craig down towards centre wing looking for Fry. Taken by Zilm, and Zilm's played more than usefully this afternoon. Back towards centre-half forward, Bradmore. Bradmore is there. He's got the speed of Graham to contend with, but he's also got the help of Phillips. And Phillips having trouble this afternoon getting control. Davies is there. Over it goes to Hargraves, back on the ground. Wilson going through. Phillips, Eckerman. Eckerman playing a terrific game this afternoon. Taken by Hoffner. Beautiful sidestep by Hoffner. Down towards centre wing, and Leonard's intercepting cleverly for Sturt.
15-metre penalty against Darryl Cale. As the siren sounds at Football Park, and at half-time it's Port Adelaide 11-9, 75, leading Sturt 6-5, 41. Leonard going to have his shot for goal, but he's 150 metres away. The ball only makes centre-half forward. 11-9 Port, Sturt 6-5.